This is Nixon. Oh, here he goes! My goodness!
They may not like the cold,
He's taking it the distance.
but they represent the green and gold.
Love to Watson. Going deep, has a man. It's caught. Watson is in. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Welcome to the West Coast Cheeseheads podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, West Coast Cheeseheads fans. As you know, I'm your host, Mateo, alongside my co-host, Joe, who is actually going to be taking over for this episode. It's been a crazy week just kind of going into everything, but we are going to be talking in regards to this recent trade of Rasul Douglas to the Buffalo Bills, along with a 5th-round pick for a 3rd-round pick. Okay, so this is going to be a big topic of discussion. I already know it's been a big topic of discussion as far as why the Packers would have done this trade. I mean, all over it seems like it was a good trade, okay? But as far as for our season, it really seems like we've really gone into tank mode. So Joe's going to go ahead and he's going to take over for this episode, but we do have this upcoming game against the Los Angeles Rams, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw this one bit out there, which I'm going to sound like a broken record as far as it goes. But we need points in the first half. We need points in the first half. We need points in the first half. We need points in the first half.
Please.
Okay? If we don't get points in the first half, just like we've seen through these last 4 games, we're just not going to get anywhere. We're going to constantly be stuck trying to get points in the second half after trailing, and we're going to walk away with another L as far as this game ends up going. So that's my one point that we really need to get across. I'm going to go ahead and pass this on over to Joe.
What's going on, West Coast Cheesehead family? How you guys doing today? Just wanted to jump on here to talk about something really quickly. Wanted to talk about the trade of Rasul Douglas. We all knew that going into this trade deadline, the Packers were in a pretty terrible spot. Going into it with a record of 2-5, weren't looking to be picking up anybody. Weren't looking to really be buyers at this point of the season. It's kind of a throwaway season, kind of a season for Jordan Love to prove himself. I do see on Twitter a lot of people talking about how they wish that the Packers picked up somebody and really kind of like try to improve their team. I hate to tell you guys, but that's not what a team that's in Packers position would be doing. They wouldn't be picking up anybody to improve for this current season. And I hate to say it, we are not in the position to compete. We're in a tank position. We're in a position to build for our future, and that's it. A lot of people were pretty upset with the Packers for trading Rasul Douglas in the first place because he's been one of our best defensive players out there. But when it comes to trades, guys, you're gonna have to when you're working for your future and you're working to rebuild, you have to trade away players of value in order to get those draft picks that are going to help you build for your future. Unfortunately, on this team right now, there's not very many people and very many players that have value on them on their name. You look at guys like on the defensive side where we are playing quite well. You look at guys like Preston Smith. And guys like Eric Stokes and Savage. Unfortunately, Stokes and Savage are hurt. And the really only guy out there that brought any value to any team was Rasul Douglas. Again, a lot of you guys did not like the trade. I personally did. I think it was a great move that the Packers made. They gave away Rasul Douglas and a 5th-round pick to the Bills for their 3rd-round pick. So essentially improving their 5th-round pick to a 3rd round. Again, you're not gonna be able to trade away guys that don't have any value, who are not playing well or anything like that. You look at Rasul Douglas; he was one of our best players right now. He was going well. He's playing defense extremely well. You look at his contract; he's on contract this year and next year. This year, he's making a very nice team friendly $800,000. But next year, his salary increases quite high. Next year, his salary goes up to $9 million. That's a huge spot. That's a lot of cap space that the Packers are saving now when trading Rasul Douglas. $9 million can go a long way to signing some young guys, to signing guys out of the draft, to picking up guys to fill some spots. This was a trade that the Packers needed to make. Rasul Douglas was a fan favorite. He was a leader out there, but unfortunately, this is a business. $9 million is a lot of money that could go a long way, especially being under the cap. So in my eyes, this was a fantastic trade that the Packers made. You look at like I said, we got a 3rd round pick from the Bills. Rasul Douglas himself was a 3rd round pick. So we're essentially getting that draft pick that we used for him. We're getting that back in the trade. Let's also go through some guys that were drafted in the 3rd round. Some pretty notable guys from 2012, guys that were drafted in the 3rd round. You look at Travis Kelce, he was a 3rd round pick. Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett were 3rd round picks. Mark Andrews. Keep going through this. You see Terry McLaurin. There's some solid guys out there in the 3rd round. Tucker Kraft, we got last year in the 3rd round, who should be a key player on this offense going forward. 3rd round pick for Rasul Douglas, in my eyes, was a fantastic get for the Packers. There is talent there that can be found, and any of these guys in the 3rd round could turn around and become very solid players for the Packers. In my eyes, this was a great move. Very happy with this move that the Packers made. I personally wanted to see more moves happen. For instance, Preston Smith, I would love to see him move. I would love to see that contract get off our books and free up even more cap space for us. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But if this was the only move that we were going to make, I'm okay with it. So let us know how you feel about it, Packers fans, in the comment section. Other than that, back to you, Mateo.
As always, thank you, Joe, for your thoughts in regards to this Rasul Douglas trade. And that's all the time that we have for today. So thank you all again. We truly appreciate all the support that we've received from each one of you as we get things underway with the West Coast Cheeseheads podcast. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast. You can also find and follow us on Facebook at West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast, Instagram at WC Cheeseheads Podcast, or Twitter and TikTok at WC Cheeseheads. We truly appreciate it and thank each of you for joining us on the West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast. We may not like the cold, but certainly still rep the green and gold. Go Pack Go. See you soon.